the Government of Canada is investing in the Royal Canadian Navy to ensure that we're able to deliver the policy that these have just approved, strong, secure, and engaged. So we're the recipient of tremendous investment in naval and maritime capability. And when you're undertaking the largest projects that our nation will undertake, from my perspective, it's absolutely essential that we invest in our people to ensure that they have the skills in order to ensure that success. Because a $60 billion Canadian service combatant, no small undertaking. And so, yeah, absolutely, we need to ensure that we're investing appropriately in our people. So the two participants that we've had on the course, I actually went out and solicited input from them. So there's 4, of which I got 2 provided input. And the feedback from them was overwhelmingly positive. And one of the big takeaways was, one of the individuals provided an example of where they were working with their partner who's directly from industry. And so being able to have an understanding of how industry would understand or approach a problem and then how they would solve it was extraordinarily insightful for them. And so I can't help but think that's going to position them better from a project management perspective if they've got that other perspective in terms of informing, project documentation. And the other thing too is when we think of what the Navy does, the Navy is responsible for requirements, and it's a whole of government team that actually is responsible for delivering projects. So I can't speak highly enough about that interaction between Pat Finn's organization, ADM Material, and then PSPC, so that whole network is also very, very important. So it's not just understanding how industry will look at a problem, it's also really, really powerful to understand how ADM MATS project managers will look at it, and then how our contracting colleagues in PSPC will look at it. So I think that's one of the real strengths of this program from our perspective. What's fascinating is when you take a look at the change management module that the team were taking a look at in terms of understanding the impact of change and how you can actually be more effective in introducing change. And so not only is this really helpful in terms of project management, we're also seeing that transcend into more military applications. So for example, the manner in which we're going to look at watch rotations for our submariners, the manner in which we're going to train our submariners in terms of the change management and being able to ensure that the stakeholders are part of the solution has been very, very beneficial. So we're not only seeing it from a project management perspective, we're also seeing those strengths, those lessons learned transition into the more military application of our force structure.
Why would you recommend this particular Executive Master of Business program?
So it's about leadership. And leadership, from my perspective, is really embracing diversity. When we say diversity is a strength, I think that's not just a bumper sticker. That is truly what it is we believe as an organization. And so that diversity in terms of different perspectives, in terms of different ways to analyze a problem and come up with a solution. One of the key takeaways that the team briefed me on was relational contracting. The softer benefits in terms of dollars and cents that would accrue to proceeding with a project other than just the hard statement of requirement. And so I can't help but think that, broadening the horizons, giving them this different perspective is not only making them better in terms of managing projects and program, but I think it's making them better leaders as well, for which we will benefit. And I think they'll continue to mentor their junior leaders along the lines that they're being taught at Telfer. So can't speak highly enough about the opportunities and experience they're getting next door. So the one area that, from the Navy's perspective, we talk about requirements and how we're going to draft requirements. And, we talk about how long it takes to move programs. So, it was about a decade ago that I came into the headquarters as Director General of Naval Force Development. And having had no real background in force development, I can't help but think I was probably the worst example of an individual coming through. And so now, having experienced that firsthand, we're committed to making sure that our force development warriors, because it really is a battle-moving program, that they understand the complexities, the challenge, the issues, and the processes in order to allow them to be successful. And so I think Telfer provides us a solution. And because people say project management, you don't do project management. Well, you're right, we don't. But understanding how the process and the system works, I think makes us deliver better requirements. I think it helps us deliver requirements that are more achievable and can be delivered in the fullness of time. So I think that's extremely advantageous. And then the new program that you're starting in terms of big data, right now the Navy has been all about big data for about 5 years now in terms of evolving the business of the business. And so anything that we can do to take advantage and leverage the opportunities that'll come as a result of new programs like this, I can't help but think that'll stand us equally in good stead.